Yo, what's up East Coast? It's Magi, and today I actually just got back from DreamHack Dallas. It was a very crazy weekend, and I actually have like a whole vlog series that I'm gonna upload to my personal YouTube channel, so you can definitely check it out if you want to. But one of the things I wanted to go over is what do normal professional, or actually not even professional, what do normal attendees of these tournaments bring to them like in their bag or whatever, because I feel like there are some new players that might just barely be getting into the scene, or maybe you got into it during COVID, so you didn't really like have a chance to actually attend these tournaments, whether they be local or they're out of state or the regionals or whatever. This is just kind of a intro to what to expect from your first tournament, and especially what should I bring to my first tournament, because there's a surprising amount of things that you just wouldn't expect that you would need whenever you go to events, because I think it's very easy to underestimate how long you're going to be at the event. So especially if you're going out of state, if you're like trying to prepare for your first tournament or whatever, this is the video for you. So first thing I wanted to talk about with this is the actual bag itself. This is a really, really nice bag. My boyfriend found it on Amazon for literally 40 bucks. It's by Sherado. This is not a paid sponsorship or anything, but I just wanted to geek out about the bag because it's got a lot of space. It has like a bunch of adjustable like bullshit, like the adjustable straps or whatever. The main thing is the space, and it has like all these really nice convenient features. Like it has literally a USB like charger built into it, which is really sick. And this bag is just sick, and I've been using shitty bags for a while, so having a bag that actually has space and is good for traveling and stuff, I think I super recommend this bag, and it's pretty budgety compared to like other bags that I've seen that are like a lot more expensive. This definitely gets the job done, so big recommends on this. I guess the first things I want to go over were kind of just like the basic things that I think you should just bring to like the tournament itself. This kind of goes for both locals and majors. This is kind of just like my duh bag or compartment. The important parts, I think, are the deodorant. It's just so convenient to have deodorant at tournaments. I can just like tell whenever it's like getting too bad and I just need to like put on deodorant just so I don't get like so goddamn insecure about it. So definitely big recommend to bring deodorant. I'm usually the one when I forget to ask for deodorant, and people don't bring this shit to tournaments. So be the person to bring extra deodorant. People would really appreciate it. I also got my charger and battery bank. Definitely, this is more so I guess if you're traveling, but even when you're at tournaments, like at tournaments, you sometimes need to open the bracket on your phone, or sometimes you need to hit up your ride or whatever. And so it's definitely just a good idea to keep these on you like as much as you can, because like you just never know whenever you may need it. Also recommend bringing Android and iPhone chargers for other people, because hella other people also forget their chargers and they end up like being in a bind. And definitely you don't want to run out of battery at a tournament, because like I said earlier, you're going to be at the tournament like basically all day. So you should just assume that your phone is gonna die and you're gonna need to charge it at some point, especially if you forgot to charge it at the beginning of the day. So big recommend on that. And this is more for traveling, but I always keep my wet wipes on me too. You just never know. This is definitely the last place you want to go without like, it's better to have these than to not have these, or it's better to have these and not use them than it is to not have these and need to use them. So definitely recommend that. Anyway, moving on to the next compartment. This is more so like, what do I need for the tournament itself? And of course, what that really means is my controller. I always keep my controller like in the same compartment too. I recommend doing that. It doesn't really matter, but it's a good ritual to have, especially if you're competing, to always have the controller in the same place, and just to ease your mind about it. Another pro tip I have is if you have a controller case like this, to keep your money in it. Because a lot of the time, if you participate in money matches, I guess if you don't participate in money matches, this doesn't really apply to you, but it's just very convenient. Instead of having to pull out your wallet or wherever the you keep your money every single time, you can just put it in the same location, and it's very intimidating for the people who are about to money match you. So definitely a nice, funny tip to increase your win percentage or your intimidation factor. I also, this is kind of weird, but I keep my phone in my bag usually. Women's pants tend to not have pockets, so it's usually just easier. Sometimes I literally put it in my controller case as well, just as like a weird superstition, because I started doing that before I played in tournament matches. So I find that like when I used to keep my phone in my pocket, or like even my wallet, like just having stuff in your pockets can sometimes be the slightest distraction. You might as well if that's a concern of yours. One other thing, this is more again for if you are traveling than if you're just going to a local, but I guess you never know. It is this, I have some band-aids in this like little extra pocket up front. I've been to tournaments where it's just happened when someone was like, oh shit, does anyone happen to have band-aids on them? And they just don't, because why would you bring band-aids to a tournament? But ever since then, I've been trying to be a little bit more cautious about it, and now I bring band-aids to tournaments. What I actually recommend you bring, which I just happen to not have on me right now, is Tylenol and Advil and whatnot. People always have headaches at tournaments, and I definitely recommend to actually bring Tylenol or Advil instead of band-aids. But I think if you bring both, you know, can't go wrong, especially have the space for it in this nice bag. And next is, this is more so for locals than for majors, which is one of the few times I'm gonna mention something that I would bring to a local but not a major. But I have a setup in here, like a whole ass Wii. If you can, the tournament organizers would really appreciate it. At majors, I would still recommend bringing a setup, but if you're traveling, it's sometimes really difficult to get it through TSA, and like it's kind of like a whole thing. More so if you're going to a local, it definitely makes a really big difference. It's just generally pretty safe to bring setups to tournaments, so I would definitely recommend bringing it with you if you can. It definitely adds like a little bit of weight, but you know, I think it's worth it. And then lastly, in the bigger pocket, this is kind of like the flex pocket. I don't bring laptops with me, but this is of course generally where you would bring laptops to tournaments. This bag literally has a laptop like compartment or whatever. This is usually where I put my makeup actually, and also where I bring a purse with me in my backpack, because if you go to tournaments, it's like sometimes a little bit awkward to bring the backpack with you everywhere. And so sometimes it's just like pretty convenient. Like if someone's going to be staying in the venue and they can look over your bag, or you can leave it in the car and you can just bring a purse with you instead. It's like sometimes like a lot more convenient than bringing the whole ass backpack with you everywhere you go and stuff. So my final, like, this is like a super duper Magi specific recommendation. One of the things that I actually is one of the most important things that I personally bring to tournaments is this portable bidet, which I know is like kind of out there, but I personally have been saved so many times by having this. And it's just like, usually when I travel, I'm like really disappointed because I like have to leave my bidet that's like installed at my house. But this is honestly a pretty solid replacement, especially when you're only gonna be gone for a few days. But if you are someone who is a bidet connoisseur and you also encounter experiences of like not having your bidet on you, I definitely recommend this because this is a pretty solid replacement for that. It is like 60 or 80 bucks, I forgot. It's kind of expensive. It has definitely been worth it for me. I would prefer to use this most of the time. So this is my secret Magi tip for bringing things to tournaments, is bring your portable bidet, because it is very useful and you will not regret it, probably. Some other small recommendations I have, generally, if I'm going to a local, for this big pocket right here, I would just put like 5 or 6 water bottles, especially if I'm not already bringing a setup and my bag is really light. If you're traveling, one thing I would recommend is bringing an HDMI cord, especially if you have a laptop and you're like staying in an Airbnb or a hotel. There's generally just a flat screen for you to use. It's a lot better when you aren't bound to the chains of cable TV, and instead you can just put on YouTube and some real content that you can want to actually consume. Yeah, also snacks. Snacks kind of apply to both locals or majors or whatever. It's definitely very convenient. If you go to like a big tournament, it's usually kind of a pain in the ass to, like, food's usually overpriced, or like just the generic things they offer at bigger tournaments. So bringing snacks is like definitely vital for having a quality tourney experience. Generally, you don't have this like the space to consume an entire meal while you're still in the bracket without feeling sluggish. So having like your energy bars or your protein bars, or you know, your bananas, whatever snack you can bring, I would definitely super recommend it. I think that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the Beast Coast channel, and if you'd like, I'm gonna be doing a lot more of these vlogs for this specific trip, going inside the venue and also just like the hotel, you know, hanging out, the road, whatever. So if you are interested in seeing more of the vlog stuff, then you can check it out over on my channel, SSB Magi, which there will probably be a link in the description, as well as I'll try to link the bag because it's a good bag. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.